Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soft Life channel. It has really been an eye-opening experience for me to see how many people are continuing to be affected by the economy through job layoffs. You are not alone. Last year I was being constructively fired a few times, with the last company having to pay me unemployment, and believe me, they fought that decision tooth and nail earlier this year. When the economy is not stable, jobs are the first thing to go. If you find yourself being a target, just know there are many factors that went into that decision that were possibly even out of the company's control. Years back, I saw two of the companies I worked for close their doors. I hate to admit that those companies were run so poorly that I had a sense of satisfaction seeing them fold. Here are people continuing to deal with the job search and massive job layoffs.
All right, you guys, it happened. I got laid off today. My company has been doing layoffs for a couple weeks now, so I've been mentally preparing for the possibility, and it happened. So while I'm going to be working diligently to find a new job, I also feel like in the meantime, it could be fun to maybe have a side quest. So what I need you guys to do is tell me, what are the favorite jobs you've ever worked? I'm talking more like retail or like something not corporate. Like, what are your favorite jobs you've worked in your life? Ooh, maybe like an ice cream parlor. Like, I feel like I should have a side quest, and I'm already teaching my spin classes, which is great. That's only 3 times a week. So I'd like to add a side quest, and I would like you to tell me what I should try to do. From your most newest unemployed girly.
There is a major insurance company that just had a lot of layoffs, and these people are devastated, of course. They worked for a smaller company that the bigger company acquired. They thought they were safe, and they are not. Now, this company also had a lot of layoffs last year, and this is the first big one this year. We're just about to enter fourth quarter, and they did this huge layoff, and it really scared a lot of people. And I'm just surprised because I thought insurance was safe now. People will always need it, and people will always file claims. I don't think that's ever going to go away, but maybe there's just not enough right now. I don't actually work in insurance, but I do have a lot of friends do, and they're getting a little nervous about it. And typically speaking, companies that have layoffs do it at the beginning of the new quarter. So this one just happened. Hopefully it won't continue for the rest of the year because it's obviously not a good time. So I'm curious, if you work in insurance, has your company been affected? Are there rumors going around? Have you heard about other big companies doing the layoffs? And what's your opinion on that?
With insurance, it's like any other business model. Without customers continuing to purchase plans, the insurance company will shrink in size. Many Americans are starting to stray away from the insurance model unless they are in need of certain types of medications and can see the value in paying for their monthly premiums. New younger generations can't afford the premiums every month. Think of it this way: many people paying outrageous prices into a system that does not largely benefit them when these immigrants are easily able to access free programs like Medicaid. As a person with my license in healthcare and insurance and life insurance, the very fabric of America is broken, and people see how unfair it is.
If there's one lesson that I have learned from going from a freelance copywriter to an in-house copywriter to a freelance copywriter, then back to an in-house copywriter, and then back to a freelance copywriter, it is this: do not, under any circumstances, let go of your freelance clients. Do not. Okay? Like, you might feel safe and you might feel secure, and the business that you just walked into is telling you that you're essential and that they value you, you know? However, a business is a business is a business. They have layoffs, they make cuts, it's unpredictable because it doesn't belong to you. So they could do whatever they want with you. You can go from hearing that you're amazing one week to, you know, we're not getting as many clients as we thought we would. You got to go. That can happen like that. So keep your freelance clients close. You know, maybe once you start working in a full-time career, you can offload some to your other freelance copywriting friends, but keep some under your belt so that you have a consistent book of business even while you're working full-time. Because it's unpredictable, especially with AI in the mix. I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is not a scare post. This is just some more advice from someone who's been around for a while, has been in the trenches for a while, has worked in several different agencies, businesses, industries. I'm just telling you, don't make the same mistake that I made early on, which was to let go of my freelance clients. Keep them close. They might be your lifeline someday. So, and if you are currently in a full-time in-house role, start freelancing on the side. Start building that portfolio. Make sure that you're allowed to include the projects that you do while you're in-house in your portfolio. Because even if you don't need it, it's really good to have it for the times that you think you might. It's great for your mental health too. It just, 2 streams of income is always better than 1. So, yeah.
Being unemployed right now, or recently being laid off, or getting signals from your company that your job stability is very uncertain is 100% traumatic. I just went through a several month layoff due to my company closing and filing for bankruptcy. By the time the announcement was made, all of our devices were logged out and there was nothing else that could be done. And I'm in HR, so I had seen some blood in the water, but I wasn't anticipating the worst of the worst. So what I want to do for you is, I don't want to sell you anything. I don't want to have you sign up for anything. I want to let you know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You are going to come out on the other side of this. I have done it. And then what it looks like to rebuild. So if you're along the lines of in the throes of job searches, you're not getting interviews. You are getting interviews, but you're not getting offers. You're getting offers, but they're crap. And you have to rearrange your entire life just to even consider taking that offer. But a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. I'm here. I have information for you. And then additionally, what does it look like on the other side? So I did have to take a pay cut. I'm still keeping my options open. I have a child that I am the sole provider for as well. So what does childcare look like? What does transportation look like? What do my finances and my debt restructuring look like? I personally am going through a bankruptcy. I'm so happy about it, to be totally honest. And since I had to take a pay cut, what does that mean for my budget? What does it mean for my lifestyle? What does that mean for my future and my ability to invest in my future and myself and my son's future? So I have all these answers for you and more, but I do want to, first of all, offer my condolences to anyone who is experiencing their unemployment, their recent layoff, or the uncertainty of their current position or job. But you can get through this. You will get through this. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and you are not alone.
2024 is the year of the layoff right now, and things are going to get worse before they get better. We're going from quiet cutting to loud, blatant, widespread, aggressive cutting. Many U.S. companies have announced their plans to cut costs this year. They're telling you it is coming, okay? They've signaled it. CNBC reported that corporate America is announcing layoffs across the board. So it's amazing that CNBC can make that announcement and yet not put 2 and 2 together to see that long-term, full-time jobs are declining. This is in every industry imaginable. We're talking department stores, software, toys, cosmetics, airlines, media companies.
If you're an employee at a company, please listen up. Today, the stock market took a nosedive. Let me tell you why. The low job creation report was revised for August and July. Even less jobs than what they thought, and it was already low. Interest rate cuts will not come in time, and likely there will be layoffs. How do you find out if you're going to be laid off? Save this video. I'm dropping the link here. It is warntracker.com. I have posted about layoffs many times. Go there today, look up your company. Companies are required by law to give a 90-day notice on the internet only, not to you, about layoffs. A company will wait until the day that they don't need you anymore to lay you off. If you are not prepared financially for a layoff, you 100% should be. Here's what you do. Number 1, you need a budget. Write down all your income, your expenses. Verify this with 1 month of a bank statement. Check out my budgeting videos here. I do budgeting videos for 3 minutes that shows you how to do a budget. Pick up a Budgetal Digit Planner right here in my bio. It is Excel or Google Sheets. It's yours forever. Once you do a budget, you just copy it for the next month. It's a spreadsheet, so if you need to make changes, all you got to do is put in an item and it uploads. It does the math for you. Cut out expenses. Anything that you don't need, cancel them. Today I just canceled an expense. Then I want you to reduce expenses. I don't care if it's your car insurance, your cell phone bill. I have videos here for you to reduce your expenses. Get a budget on groceries, shopping, eating out, entertainment, and personal care. Put those line items on your budget. If you pick up my budget, it has tons of line items. Cancel anything you don't need. Get together a $1,000 emergency fund. You will be able to do that if you cut out expenses and stick to a budget. Put aside as much emergency savings as you can right now and limit your spending. You heard me correctly, limit your spending. Layoffs are going to happen, and it might happen to you. My name's Christina. I'm an accountant. Follow me for all things personal finance. Check out my 1,300 videos on saving money, getting out of debt, retirement planning, and so much more. Drop a comment or a question, and I just may answer it for you. Follow for more.
So I don't know if I'm about to be let off or promoted, so we'll see. Let's do it. Hello.
Thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some news. So, as you know, the business is very behind on goals, and so is the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to maintain long-term stability, we've had to make the difficult decision to restructure.
Okay.
In order to compete with the environment. So totally outside of your hard work and your impact on our community and everything like that, we have to reduce the workforce by 5%. And this means that your role is going to be eliminated.
Okay.
And Taylor, this is not a reflection of your work, your contributions, your dedication, anything like that. It is a business decision.
Got it.
I want to thank you for everything, for your commitment and all your hard work along the way, and the incredible relationship you've made with our clients. And so I know that this can be overwhelming. Do you want a minute before I pass it off?
You can pass it off.
Okay. Hi, Taylor. Sorry to be meeting with you under these circumstances. I'm on the...
No questions for you.
We appreciate your hard work.
Thanks. I'll too. Bye.
Thank you, Taylor.
Just got laid off.
I've been laid off 3 times in the past 2 years, and I have some trauma, so let's talk about it. So in 2022, I left a stable job at Square. I was there for 4 years. And I went into Web3 and startups. And the first job I got had about 1,000 employees. They laid off over 800 people. I was brought into meetings saying I was safe while I was on PTO, and then my Slack access was cut a few hours later. Second job was a startup within a startup incubator. The incubator was having some issues, but everyone told that we're safe. And guess what happened 2 weeks later? Everyone got laid off. Company after that joined immediately. They did layoffs in the first 2 weeks. Was not looking too good. Eventually got laid off from that one as well. So yeah, layoffs is something I stress about every single day. When you're doing work in an environment where there's no psychological safety, it is very, very stressful.
Are you running out of ways to try to rebuild your credit? Well, try Self-Lender. It's a free credit score monitoring system that allows their members to open a credit builder account. A credit builder account is a low-cost loan that you essentially make to yourself that allows you to build savings and your credit at the same time. Stop getting denied and get on board with Self-Lender. The link will be in the description box below. This credit building account is just too good not to share. Make sure to support the channel so I can continue to bring hard-hitting extended research videos like this.
So I just lost my job. I just got laid off this morning. I got on a call at 8:30 in the morning. It was my usual weekly one-on-one with my manager that he moved forward. I really didn't think much into it. Yeah, I went into the Zoom meeting and there was one guy in the call already. I still haven't processed it yet. I really didn't think it would have been a layoff. Also because I had just woken up and I haven't checked my inbox yet. Apparently there was an email out from our CEO that said that there was some business organizational changes. So feels very disassociative from an employee's standpoint. I mean, I don't think I've worked with my manager for a very long time, but I expected a little more of a human side. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more devastated than anything because I really enjoyed my Singapore team, and we are actually an all-girl team. And I feel like it's gonna be really hard to find another all-girls team that are all just very, very genuine people. So I would say I'm still overall pretty caught by surprise, as it only just happened 3 hours ago as I'm filming this right now. I guess follow me on my journey as I try to restart my interview process and find a new job.
This is just insane. Dell is not done doing layoffs yet. So Dell has already actually laid off 12,500 workers back in August due to a pivot to AI, and now they're going to keep going, even though they've had great financial results. Why are they doing this? Because biz transformation. So what does biz transformation mean to Dell? Dell said it means less external hiring, read more work for you if you are left behind, reducing costs, actually reorganizing employees, and my personal favorite, which is that they want to align their strategic investments with customer needs. So guys, I just did a bunch of videos about what was happening at Dell, and the stories that I've heard since doing these videos are wild. They range from Dell actually targeting older workers to forcing people to actually choose that they wanted to stay remote even though they wanted to come into the office, to actually providing people who were departing the company with super sketchy, incomplete documentation of their layoffs. So something really weird is going on over there, and I'm not here for it. This is reminder like 1,000 that corporate does not have your back, and there is no such thing as company loyalty to employees, even if you've been there for decades and done a killer job. A woman literally died at her desk at Wells Fargo, and they didn't find her for 4 days. So remember that when you are deciding what to prioritize in your life.
I have been trying and failing to negotiate my severance pay. I just got laid off 2 Thursdays ago. First of all, I reached out to like 8 employment lawyers. Not one of them replied. Like legit phone calls, filled out information, nothing. But I read that negotiation book, never split the difference. So I was like, I'm gonna use my knowledge. I started asking questions like, how is my severance calculated? Cause it was just like a random number. And from my calculations, it seems around like 5 weeks pay, but not exactly. The HR team just fired back that information is confidential. Which is weird because every other severance I've ever seen, they've shown you how they calculate it. Like 1 month plus 1 week per year worked here, something like that. Why is it confidential? So then I read through the whole contract and everything. Apparently I signed a non-compete agreement when I first started working there as my employment agreement. Back then I didn't read contracts. I was really stupid. It's a year-long non-compete. So I tried to negotiate in the emails. I was like, if it's a year-long non-compete, then I would like a year-long severance package. I asked to keep the computer so I can apply for new jobs and for more company-sponsored Cobra. I didn't hear back for days, but then the VP messaged me back and he was like, everything is non-negotiable, sorry. You can find a job that complies with the non-compete with our outplacement services, which is basically resume writing and stuff like that. So even though he said it was non-negotiable, he did let me keep the laptop, so it seemed like a little bit negotiable. And so I messaged again. I was like, I've had so many friends laid off in tech, and I didn't say this in the email, but all of them got 6 month severance packages, and 2 of them who got that severance package had only worked there 1 year. I worked here 4 years, and in that whole 6 months they couldn't get a new job because it's the worst job market on the planet right now. So I asked him, like, how am I supposed to survive on this severance package if it's taking longer than 6 months for a lot of tech employees to find new jobs who also got laid off? The VP didn't even answer my question. He wouldn't engage. He was just like, it's non-negotiable again. So I'm at the point, do I just give up? Do I just sign it? Because I do need the money, I'm not gonna lie.
If you work for anybody really, but particularly a major corporation, and you don't feel appreciated and you've been like thinking about leaving, I want to tell you the story about how a $10 billion global company nearly imploded less than a year ago, and the division that kept the lights on and kept the company going was eliminated today. All of them were laid off. So back in October, I resigned from my job as a dental field sales consultant. So I was a sales rep. I had done it for 13 years, and I had grown a territory of people doing zero business with our company to multi-million-dollar territory. But along the way, my husband started his own company, and anyway, he was growing to the point where he could use some help. And I was getting really burned out at the way my corporation was treating me. So I resigned. I resigned on a Friday. And usually when you work in sales, when you resign, they kick you out. Like you give a 2 weeks notice, but usually they are just like, get the F out of here. But that evening, the United States division of that company fell victim to a cyber attack. They had to turn off all of their servers, which meant come Monday, a dental distributor with warehouses all over the United States had no way to process orders. That's all this company did, was fulfill orders. Think Amazon, but for dental. And the website was not functioning. You couldn't submit online orders. The only way to submit orders, they finally came around with a workaround. And it was field reps, which would have been me, create an Excel spreadsheet. And they said at first it was like emergency items only. Guess what? If you run a dental practice, everything that you need, like you can't be like, well, you know what? We're just not going to order lidocaine. Like everything's important. You can't function. So if you're if you normally place orders on Monday and Monday comes and the company is telling you, can you please just, limit your order to 3 to 5 items and you normally order 50 to 100 items. That isn't well received. But anyway, because I loved my clients, no one gave me any direction because the company was like in free fall insanity. I went to my clients' offices and I made Excel spreadsheets of the orders that they needed and emailed them to our outbound sales support department. And those people somehow took those emails and got them to the warehouse, and the warehouse fulfilled orders. The first week, I don't think a single thing shipped, except for like critical items, which I'm not sure how they decided what those were. So my 2 weeks notice came and went. And it's my understanding that for weeks, these internal teams were on the phone. The only way to order was if a field rep emailed an order in. And guess what? You needed to know item numbers. We carried over 300,000 items. So if you just said you needed, I don't know, syringes, guess what? There's like 25 different options for that. So if you don't know your item numbers, and why would you? Because normally you just would write it down on a steno pad and I would order it for you. Anyway, God bless. This team of customer service representatives were working insane hours under tons of pressure because you could only order if a field rep sent in an order via email or if you called an order in. So can you imagine a $10 billion company's North American division, or maybe just United States, to be honest, I'm not sure. All of the ability to function electronically has been shut down. And these internal customer service people had to have been under so much stress, killing themselves. The warehouses were working nights and weekends trying to fulfill orders. I'm sure there was an immense pressure to try to keep the company alive. Anyway, I left brokenhearted because I didn't know how to help my clients. I gave them all their order history so they had item numbers and descriptions, so if they wanted to try to submit orders or they wanted to call, they could. The majority of those people switched companies because it took them 6 months or more to replace me. That's a whole nother story where I'm heartbroken that people I'm friends with, that I gave excellent customer service to for 13 years, were just abandoned. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, today one of my friends who worked in this department, who single-handedly as a team kept sales coming in so that orders could go out, they were all laid off today. All of them. Do you know how much stress those people experienced? And how the buy-in for them, how big it had to be to rally and pull off all this manual work for weeks. I took my kids to the dentist at some point after this and was still helping a former client get stuff. They were all laid off. I hope they were given a good severance package. But the truth of the matter is, they felt the pressure, I'm sure. These were good employees. They hired good people. This guy was excellent at his job, at taking care of customers and solving problems. They're all gone now. And the days of killing yourself, getting yelled at, I'm sure, by customers calling in all day long, right? How long was the hold time before you could even talk to somebody to place an order when our website for millions of customers was down? They were all summarily just laid off today. So, if you care more about your company than they care about you, if you're losing sleep, if you're missing meals, if every year you're trying to figure out why you're making less and having to work harder, you might want to use this video as your sign to move on. This makes me so angry on behalf of these people who kept sales coming through by killing themselves. And now they've decided they don't need those people. They still have customer service people. These people's job was to grow business. They were tossed into a customer service role for weeks and weeks. Anyway, it's corporate America, I guess. It's disgusting. I'm furious on their behalf. Anyway, that's all I came here to say.
I don't think we need to explain nothing. I don't like explaining myself to niggas. Whatever. It is what it is.
Comment below and thanks for watching. Do you think 2025 will rebound with many more new jobs for the first quarter? I think we will need to see a massive import of new jobs to see this happen. I will get into why too much immigration can negatively affect job growth and not from immigrants working those missing positions. Thanks for watching and I will see everyone in the next video. The link for that video will be in the comments below.